Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. This is a message for our youth. Allah SWT has told you to be the most kind and most merciful, most respectful towards your parents, right? But dear youth, today you are the most selfish around your parents. Unfortunately, you treat them and you pretend they are your vehicles. Like, they drive you everywhere, they drive you to classes, they drive you to and from your educational institutes and your martial arts classes and everything. And other than that, you don't even want to talk to them because you are so busy talking to your friends. Your friends are more important, your colleagues are more important, and your other your relationships are more important than you even before you get married. You treat your parents like Uber drivers. You treat your parents as only caretakers or caregivers, which is so selfish of you. And this is not the case that Allah SWT has commanded you with. You should not treat your parents like this. You should not be like very selfish around them, and you need to think about what you do. And you should not take your parents for granted. They're only there in their life serving their purpose because they have a job description as parents, right? You don't ever treat them as human beings. Those two human beings you call parents, your mother and your father, were human beings before you, right? They had ambitions, they had plans, they had their career and everything. They put everything in line for you. Everything, they forgot everything, they did everything for you. Yet their life actually revolves around you. But when it comes to you, you can't even give away a phone call. When they want to talk to you, you're not present. When they want to talk to you, you're looking at your phones because you're so consumed by you and your need, your freedom, your free will, and all those things that come to your mind because of this bombardment of social media that you're always busy on. Think about it. When you will get older, your offspring will be worse than this. When you get older, you will wish that your parents are around you. Well, they will not be around you all the time, right? They might not outlive you, right? Allah knows best, but they will die before you. So you should not take your parents for granted and treat them like precious treasures that Allah SWT has given you. Just like they treat you like the best precious amana that Allah SWT has granted them with. So if they treat you like that, you should treat them like that. So do not take your parents for granted. Do not treat them like dump yards and emotional, dump yards and emotional, garbage cans. And do not actually dump them with all the stresses that you actually gain from outside because you're so exposed to all the filthy social media. You're exposed to all the pressures outside. They didn't do anything. And they're just doing their job. Being a strict parent is also very hard. Being a very protective or overprotective that you call it today is also very hard. When the parents are overprotective, they're actually doing their job. When parents are overbearing sometimes in your language, they're actually doing their job their level best. And trust me, before you, they were not parents. So they're doing it first time as well. So you need to understand their realities. They need to understand their shortcomings and treat them like human beings. Trust me, wallahi, at the time when you decided to actually treat your parents as human beings, things will get easier on you and them. Don't make things difficult for them. They're trying their best, wallahi. Allah is my witness. Each and every parent that I know has been trying their best. They're trying their best to become your friend. They're trying their best to actually be your caretaker. They're trying their best to become your safeguard and your security guard, and your counselor, your therapist, your psychologist, your psychiatrist, your doctors. So all in one, that one package you have two people. In many cases, one person only. Do not treat them like garbage. Do not treat them with the words they use for other people. There's no freedom. There's no free will. What free will are you talking about? You have been given a guideline by the very Creator who created you and your parents. They're following the commands of the Creator, so you should follow that too. There's only one responsibility. They're given the responsibility for you, for protection, for care, for safety, for nurturing, for giving you shelter, for giving you a vehicle, for giving you food, everything. They're commanded to do everything for you. You're only commanded to do one and only one thing. Be respectful towards them. And serve them if they become older and Allah gave you the capacity to serve them. And God forbid, if Allah does not allow you to serve them, may Allah have mercy on you. So there's one responsibility over you towards, being respectful with your parents, and you're not able to do that. So think about it. And at 13, 14, 15, 16, you have the mouth to tell them, I'm old enough to actually make my own decisions. I'm old enough to actually do this. So if you're old enough to actually giving this SIGT to your parents, you're old enough to think better. You're old enough to actually understand better. You're old enough to actually deliver better. You're old enough to actually treat them with more respect. At least give them half of the respect that you give to your teachers. At least give them half of the respect, 50% of the respect that you give to your professors, because they are able to actually fail you. Can you imagine failing at the test of Akhirah on Judgment Day just because you were not kind enough to your parents? And it's not a command that I'm saying that is coming from our parents. This is a command coming from the very creator that created you and your parents. It's a command from Allah SWT to treat them. If they become older and if they say very rude words to you or being hard on you, you're not even supposed to say, oh. So be respectful towards your parents. Be respectful towards their needs. Do they ever come to you saying, you know what, you have to go out and earn regardless of how you feel every morning, but you have to get up, get into the car very early in the morning, rain, cold, shine, right? And earn me enough to I can be spoiled. Do they ever do that? No. Until you actually get to that point where you actually get out of the house and leave your comfort zone and start earning, they are the people who are paying your bills, right? They are the people who are actually protecting you against heat and cold. They are the people who are actually protecting, shielding you against any odds outside of the world or in the outside world. What are you doing? You don't even have the courage or the spine to actually protect yourself, right? Let alone them. You're not even able to give them a cup of water without asking. And if they ask you, that's too much for you. So get your acts together. Be kind. Be respectful. Be grateful. At least say appreciative words enough that you tell to people outside. At least say thank you enough. At least say, Mom, Baba, Daddy, Papa, I respect you for what you do every day for me. I respect you because every single morning at 6 a.m. when I am actually in my bed, not waking up even for my school, you get up and you go out. And you spend the entire life, at least 20 plus years of my life, doing the service in the community so you actually pay the bills for me. How much do they spend on them? They could have saved all those dollars that they actually saved for your education, and they're paying for that. They could have saved that that money, and spent on their vacation. They could have dined out every single night, leaving you on daycares. They don't. Majority of us don't. So be respectful, be kind, be appreciative, and be respectful on top of everything to your parents. Don't take them for granted, because one day they will not be around and you will be ashamed of yourself. You will be so embarrassed and you will not even have a chance to actually say thank you or sorry. So don't treat your parents like garbage can or dumpsters. And be very kind. So Allah SWT will be kind to you, and Allah SWT will accept you as a good servant of Allah SWT, being respectful to your parents. I will record that video and I will save it after this live, and inshallah share it with whoever who can be who can use that. And inshallah may Allah grant us the ability to actually serve our parents, and may Allah grant us the ability to actually be respectful towards our parents for whatever they do. They're doing their job. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.